Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. The 54th day of the Russian invasion of Ukraine has passed. In the morning there were 5 rocket attacks on Lviv, killing at least 7 people. The commander of the 36th Ukrainian Independent Marine Brigade defending Mariupol, Serhiy Volyn, in a letter to Pope Francis, asked him to intervene. On Monday morning, 4 cruise missiles exploded near the city of Lviv in West Ukraine. According to preliminary information, the missiles were fired from the Caspian Sea region. 3 of the missiles hit disused military facilities and 1 a tyre shop. Unfortunately, there are casualties. 7 people died. These are the first fatalities of shelling in Lviv. 11 people were injured, including 1 child. 3 victims are in a critical condition. The child has minor injuries. Right next to the tyre plant is the railway station. The windows in the stairwells have blown out in 8 buildings. Windows also blew out in 1 school. No city in Ukraine is safe anymore. In Kharkiv, shells hit an apartment building and a nearby hospital. Now the fires are being extinguished. According to preliminary data, 5 people have been killed and at least 14 injured. There is a hospital opposite. A shell hit that and our building. One of the 4 shells hit the kindergarten, destroyed everything. The roof bent. The bed caught fire. Ukrainian forces remaining in Mariupol are still fighting and refuse to surrender.
No, city still is not fallen. There is still our military forces, our soldiers, so they will fight till the end. And as for now, they still are in Mariupol.
For security reasons, humanitarian corridors were not open today either. A video has surfaced online in which pro-Putin Ukrainian politician and millionaire tycoon Viktor Medvedchuk, who was arrested by the Security Service of Ukraine, makes a proposal to Vladimir Putin. I asked the President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, and the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, to exchange me for the defenders of Mariupol and the residents who are there and have no possibility of safe evacuation through humanitarian corridors. The fighting continues primarily in the east of Ukraine. The defenders of Mariupol are tying up large force of Russian troops themselves. Thanks to the bravery of the Azov Regiment, the Naval Infantry and the Territorial Defence Units, the armed forces are holding positions in other directions. The losses of the Russian forces already amount to more than 20,500 soldiers, 790 tanks, 167 aircraft and more than 2,000 armoured vehicles. For the 6th time, the campaign Easter Without Borders is being held throughout Poland. The aim of the initiative is to bring Polish Easter traditions closer to foreigners. This year, the initiative has a special character. As a result of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, over 2,800,000 people have crossed the Polish border, including students from African countries enrolled in Ukraine. Among them is Maida Derek, a student from Poltava.
My name is Maida Derek. I'm from Uganda, here in Poland. I would like to invite you all to come for Easter Without Borders. You are very much welcome. God bless you. See you right there. Thank you.
Participants of Easter Without Borders can learn about Polish culture, traditions or Easter dishes. Father Polycarp studies at Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński University in Warsaw. A year ago, because of the pandemic, he participated in the event via the internet.
You know that with this there is kielbasa, there is chleb, there is baranek, and so many other forms of food which are identical to Easter Without Borders.
Despite the differences, all participants in the initiative are united by the celebration of the Resurrection Day.
Even with these celebrations at home, people easily relate it to their faith, which is very special, and it blends very well tradition and faith.
Sharing traditions works both ways because foreigners can also tell you about their traditions. An amazing opportunity to meet each other, to meet also other people, their traditions, cultures, their view of this time. Mr. and Mrs. Węgowski have so far hosted an Anglican family from the United Kingdom and a couple from Ukraine. For Anglicans, the question of urbi et orbi is something completely foreign and incomprehensible, and here they saw how important it was for them to participate, to listen to the Pope, and also thanks to this they had the opportunity to pay attention to what happens in the Poles who take in Ukrainians under their roofs completely fulfill the idea of Easter without borders, says Małgorzata Jaroszek, spokeswoman for the Schumann's Thought Institute. We want these people to feel as comfortable as possible, so that there is such a friendly, warm family atmosphere. The idea originates from the works of Robert Schuman. He is considered to be the founding father of the community of European nations. He tried to bring nations and people together and build relationships between them. We all unite together, we unite, we show brotherly love. We also show such brotherly friendship, brotherly love no matter where we are, where we come from. This is also a form of assimilation. The initiative has its beginning in Poland, but this does not mean that our example cannot be followed by other European countries, says Professor Zbigniew Krzysiek. Poland has to set an example. In France and Germany, the newcomers are in ghettos, isolated. That is why there are tensions, clashes, barriers. So far, several thousand people from countries in Europe or the Middle East have taken part in the initiative. And even from the furthest corners of the world, India, Vietnam or African countries. 3 Chinese astronauts returned to Earth on Saturday after 183 days in space, Chinese state television reported, completing the country's longest crewed space mission to date. The astronauts landed 9 hours after they left a key module of China's first space station. Following their launch in October, the astronauts, Zai Zhigang, Ye Gangfu, and a female crew member, Wang Yaping, spent 183 days in space, completing the 5th of 11 missions needed to finish the space station by the end of the year. This 180-day journey to space is really not easy. But we don't feel alone because we have the true care of the President Xi's New Year message, the strong support from society, and the company of the engineering team day and night. At this moment, we have returned to the embrace of our motherland. I feel really happy, and I'd like to tell you all that I'm safe. At the same time, I also want to say to my daughter that Mum is back from picking stars. Chinese President Xi Jinping visited Weishang spacecraft launch site and stressed for more efforts to build a world-class launch site during his inspection of South China's Hainan province. He spoke highly of a series of key space missions launched from the site, including the launching of the space station core module, Tianhe, the Chong 5 lunar mission, and Tianwen-1 Mars probe. I hope you will vigorously carry forward the spirit of 2 rockets, 1 satellite, and the spirit of manned space program, the frontier of global space development to meet the major strategic needs of China's space industry. Shoulder your responsibility, be brave to innovate and make breakthroughs, comprehensively improve our modern space launch capabilities, and strive to build a world-class spacecraft launch site. That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business, and more programmes. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.